Hello guys, so I'm back with some new footage here. So this is the footage about the 1400 series PowerBook. As you can see, here we have two of them. One is my own private collection PowerBook that I have already restored, and it's kind of like in a good shape. The other one is the one that I just showed you in the previous video. So I just tested it, and it's actually fully functional. That's the great thing about it. It's really in good shape, and it's working as expected. The problem with this one here, and I'm going to show you using the upper camera here, is that there is a crack on the case here, you see, and this is exactly where the hinges are. So as you can see here, there is a crack. There is basically it's going to turn worse, and here is the beginning of one. So that's really unfortunate, because this that's weird. Just heard I heard a booting chime, but yeah, this one is actually booting out of the battery. Wow, that's amazing. Wasn't expecting that. Let's see how far it goes. The other thing about this guy here is that I fixed the faceplate of the CD-ROM, as I mentioned yesterday. So it just basically super glue did the trick, and it's actually working as expected now. As you can see, it's glued. It's not gonna last forever, but it is actually working as expected. And as I said before, this one here also had the same issue, so I had to glue this up as well. So it's a very common problem in this sort of machine here. So what I'm going to do basically now is I am going to, there are some things, I'm not going to sell this guy here, basically because of that crack on the lead. It's just unfair, to sell a notebook like this, even though it's fully functional. As you can see here, even the battery, amazingly enough, is holding power. As you can see, this guy is not plugged in, but it is booting up, because this was, I left it overnight with the power cable on, and apparently charged. So I'm actually amazed that it's holding the charge. So maybe it's just going to last for, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes, or maybe 5 minutes, or maybe it surprises me and actually lasts much longer than that. So let's actually just see if it boots up. So the plan here is basically I'm going to swap some ports between those two here. This one, for example, if you look on the upper camera here, the keyboard on this guy is the French keyboard, which is not good. It's not very good. It's not the traditional QWERTY keyboard, and I always didn't like this about this notebook here. So this one here has the British keyboard, so the QWERTY British keyboard, which is really good. So I'm going to swap this keyboard with this one here. And the other thing that this one here needs replacing is the click, the trackpad click button here. It is working, but it requires some additional pressure, and basically I remember this when I fixed this up, it wasn't working at all. I managed to clean this up a little bit, and now it's fully functional. Well, it still needs some, I'm going to show you when I boot it up. Let's actually do this now. So let me boot this guy up. So again, this is mine from my collection. This is the one that arrived from eBay. So I bought this one here for about 20 quid, which is a very low price for a machine like that, especially in functional state like this. It was sold as non-working, because basically the previous owner didn't have the power supply to test it, and it is fully functional. I didn't have to do anything, just plug it in and it boot up. So it's working as expected, and the faceplate for the CD-ROM here was easily fixed just with super glue, and that did the trick. So I'm going to also swap the memory. This guy here has 64 megabytes of memory, whereas mine here has 32. So I'm going to basically replace or swap the battery, the memory modules as well. And well, that's going to be pretty much the work. So I'm just going to exchange keyboard, the trackpad here between those two, and the memory modules. That's it. So I'm still going to have This guy here fully functional, and of course this guy here is the one from my collection. It doesn't have any cracks or anything like that, so I'm going to keep this guy here in my collection, and this guy here is going to go on to I don't know, maybe save it for spares, or I don't know, I might sell it. I still haven't decided on that yet. So yeah, so this guy here, as you can see, like again, it's fully functional, and this has 64 megabytes of memory, and whereas this guy here, not sure it's, so yeah, it's a little bit better now. So as you can see, like the button, it requires like I have to press it like a few times. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. It's not ideal. So this guy has 32 megabytes of memory. Not sure if you can see it from there, maybe from the upper camera here. Not sure if the upper camera is in the right angle to show that, but still, like yeah, I'm going to swap them up. See that sometimes it doesn't do anything, so it's quite annoying. So yeah, I'm going to swap that, and then we go from there. So other than that, like both are again like fully functional. Well, one thing that I noticed in this one here is that the contrast button, well, now it appears actually to be working as expected. Yes, brightness and the contrast, yeah, it's actually working very well. And this here actually, yeah, it is working. It just doesn't show the controls, but it is working. It's actually doing something when I press it. So yeah, both are in very good shape. Unfortunately, this one here has a crack in the lid, which is really unfortunate, because I would say that overall the condition on this one here is actually better than the condition on mine. Apparently, at least from the appearance. And this one here has the battery still working, which is again like amazing. Like wasn't expecting for that at all. Like you can see it here. That battery level shows like fully charged. It doesn't tell me how long it's going to last, and even if it's shown, like how can it be trusted anyways? Like its battery is like about 25 years old. So yeah, still like it's a miracle that it's working. Okay, so I'm going to do this now. I'm going to shut them down. I'm going to start unscrewing the bottom so I can remove the keyboard and get access to the internals. And I'm going to film this up so you guys can see it. That's basically the plan. Okay, so let me shut them up. Sorry, shut them down. So shut down and shut down. There you go. So for sure I'm going to be keeping this battery here. It looks amazing, that you know, like great shape. So yeah, let's start the disassembly process. Let me just I have to make sure to remove the batteries. I really don't want to keep forcing this one here because I don't want the crack on this guy to also start happening. As you can see, this one here has the cover, the transparent cover, where you can actually place pictures and such. It's actually very nice. Whereas this one here has the black cover here. So this is actually removable as well. If you just you know, if you try to remove it, as you can see, it detaches a little bit from here, and then it's just a matter of forcing it a little bit more, and then it's going to come off. So yeah, this one has the traditional cover, this one here has the picture cover. So this is also something that I might want to keep, you know, like for spares, so to have both covers. So yeah, why not? So let me unplug this. And so let's turn them over. I have to remove the battery from this guy here because the battery is alive. So I have to make sure the battery is removed. So the battery has, if you see it here, right, it has like a corrosion point. So this is not good, so I'm going to clean this up. The battery is not too hot, which is also good. It doesn't have any bubbles or anything, and as we saw, it's actually holding charge. Still not a good idea, because if I, for example, like if I store the PowerBook with this battery here, chances are, you know, because the battery is so old, it might start leaking and then it's a catastrophe inside of the notebook. So I might not keep those two together, or just like tape this with like electric tape, for example. This is enough already. Okay, so let me put the battery here for a moment. And so as you can see, like there are not a lot of screws, so I have like two here. This one here is yeah, so basically I have like 6 screws altogether. For the keyboard, if I'm not mistaken, there is only one. I don't remember if the others, so let me remove the CD-ROM here as well. So this is the PowerBook 8x CD-ROM module, and it is from 1997, which is pretty much the, you know, the era from this notebook here. So let's start disassembling the one that is not mine, so that if something goes wrong, at least I will know that I should not repeat the same steps here. It's a long time since I last disassembled this guy here, so yeah, I should start with this one. So let me get my my kit. Where have I left it? Because I had it. So this is my kit. So let me just assemble this together. And to disassemble this, we just need like a regular Phillips head. Okay, so let's just try to remove the ones that are related to the keyboard. And let's put them in a place that always, whenever disassembling the notebooks from whatever brand it is, make sure that the screws that we're removing, if they are not the same, they are kept in different locations, or at least like know where they should go when you reassemble everything back together, just to avoid issues, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and remove all the screws here. So all the 6 screws. So this one is different than the others. It's a little bit longer, if you could compare it. Like, yeah, as you can see, right? They're not the same. So I have to remember that the longer one, it's from the back, and the short ones are from the front. Okay, so another long one, as you can see. So the long ones are coming from the back. This one here is a little bit stubborn, but eventually it came off. Okay, so I have all the screws removed, so I can now turn this to the other side and see if I can put this or take this apart now. So as far as I remember, I should be able to basically remove the keyboard at this point, or maybe it's this cover here that goes off first. So let me see if I can get some plastic tools. So this is my bag of tricks, and I do have some tools here that are helpful when disassembling those. So yeah, it doesn't seem like the keyboard is actually loose, which means that I have to remove this here first. And then there are, if I remember correctly, some screws that are underneath. Does not look like it is going to afraid I'm going to break it if I continue to force it. So let's see if, okay, so those are the feet. No more screws here, so I have removed them all. So it's really a matter of knowing how to take this apart now. Pretty sure like this is, this guy has to come off somehow. Okay, so okay, so I have to be honest, like I don't remember how to disassemble this, and it's never a good idea to force anything here. I'm seeing some tabs here in the keyboard that might be related to this. So yeah, I'm going to do a little research and then get back to you, so with the right procedure to actually disassemble this guy here. So I really don't want to force or break anything here. So yeah, let's I'll get back to this. Well, I did a little research, and it came back to me as well whenever when I was researching it. So basically what I need to do is I need to press both sides here and slide it to the left, and that should be enough to liberate or to free this cover here, this speaker cover. From there I can have access to the keyboard and lift everything up. So let's see if we can do that. It's not easy, and we have to be careful not to break anything. I can see that the cover is moving, but okay, it didn't break. Apparently everything looks okay. Think. Or did it break? No, it didn't. So yeah, it's only those here. So yeah, I think, well, something broke. Like I don't know if I did it now or someone done this before. So yeah, I have to be more careful basically. So let's remove the keyboard now. So to remove the keyboard, I have to basically take apart, like, or remove those screws here. Yeah. So I'm going to put them in a different place so I remember where they are coming from. See that they are different sizes. So the big one is, so I'm trying to keep them in the right positions when I am saving them. Like this, okay. Yep, so we remove them all. Yeah, I don't remember now what should I be doing here. So yeah, I'm going to do a little research and get back. So from what I read, the keyboard should be loose at this point. I should be able to lift it up, but I am not. So either I'm doing something wrong, or the instructions are not reliable. Yeah, in the instructions it's just saying that, you know, like I should be able to lift it up at this point here. It actually says that I should be removing the screws after I lifted up the keyboard. So yeah, something is not quite right here. Like the keyboard doesn't seem loose at all. I have already removed all the screws on the back, so there is nothing really like keeping the keyboard attached. So something is missing and I have to figure out what it is. Okay, so let's try with this here. Okay, yeah, that seems to be coming off. It's a little bit stiff on the side here. Okay, there you go. So that's the keyboard out. Okay, so to get access to the keyboard now I need to basically remove this housing here, and I will have to do it to get access to the memory module as well. So this is the keyboard that I want, and I need this as well. Not sure how am I going to get there. You see that the notebook actually looks very clean from the inside. It really looks good. So let's get those two out. Okay. And let's see if I can lift this up. Yeah, compared to the other notebooks from Apple that I have disassembled, this one here is not that straightforward. So this is the heatsink plate. I'm going to... So here I have now access to the memory and the processor. So this is the processor right here, and so here on the side, not sure what this is, but yeah, what I'm interested in is basically the memory module. That should be this guy here, and of course I need to remove the keyboard as well, which is now, it's just a matter of lifting this up here, this tab. That should be enough to release. Okay, so the keyboard is out. Now to get access to this here, so why I want to have access to this? Because I'm thinking that actually to get access to this button here, it's not gonna be easy. I will have to disassemble the whole thing apparently. That might get tricky, I think. So let's see if this is the module, the memory module. I'm pretty sure it is. It doesn't say anything, but it's very likely to be. Or it could be this here as well. So yeah, maybe those two, or maybe those three. So yeah, those are the memory modules. It's Kensington. Yeah. So you see that says don't remove this label, warranty, blah blah blah. So yeah, this is memory and this is memory. So they basically stack up together like this, right? And I don't know what this is. This might be the built-in memory, I don't know. So I'm going to save them aside here. This is the processor. I'm not gonna touch it because I don't need it. Now, this is a hard drive. Of course, I don't need it as well. But I do need access to this assembly here. So yeah, this is going to be very tricky. So I might just leave it as it is for now, at least, because I really don't want to do the same procedure on mine, my notebook here. Like I don't want to break it or anything like that. So I might just swap the keyboards and the memory and you know, call this done, basically. So I'm going to reserve this guy here for now. I'm going to start the procedure in the other one. I might just have to put back, I'm actually going to do this. So the screws on the bottom here, I'm pretty sure I didn't have to remove them at all. Like, so let me just put the feet back here. This, and I'm actually going to put them back because I don't think I need to actually do that, to just remove the keyboard and the memory. So I'm just going to put them back. Just doing that because, you know, like the less screws I have floating around, the less chance I have, you know, to mix them up or lose them. So yeah, there is no need to. Remember to not over tie, don't over tight those screws because the plastic is very brittle, and over tighten them will lead to eventually like cracks or breakages. So when you feel that it's done, just stop screwing them up, right? Okay, so yeah, I think to get access to the touchpad, I will have to basically disassemble the whole thing, and I'm really not in the mood to do that. And I think it really doesn't worth it for just a button that is actually working. It's not like perfect, but it is working. So I'm going to put this aside for a moment, and now let's do the same thing on mine. Again, I don't like the idea of doing that, but I have to, because again, like the French keyboard is really not something that I really like. So this is mine, and now let's do the same procedure. So again, I have to press it and move it to the left without breaking it. This is a horrible system. Okay, well, at least in this one here, it actually came off the way it should. So looking here, actually I don't think the other one is broken at all. Like, it looks exactly the same. So this is good news. So Let's remove the keyboard here first. As you can see, it's actually very snugly in here. So the keyboard is this, and let's just remove the screws here. So hopefully the upper camera is able to grab good images of this. So the top ones are the larger ones, and then we have the 3 smaller ones on the bottom here. It's actually only 2, right? Yeah, only 2. Yeah, good. And then I have those other 2 here, which are basically the same size. So you see that when you learn how to do it, everything becomes so much easier. Okay, and now I should be able to lift this up like that. And yeah, there you go. Like so this is so see that this here has a different plate. It has a different card here, which I have no idea what this is. So let's remove it just to take a look, right? Nope, that's no good. I think, so if I see on the back here, so let me see. Yeah, this looks like a video card, to be honest. Yeah, this is the video card. So this is not memory at all. And I think the other one doesn't have this port. So let me check. Yeah, you see the other one doesn't have it. So that explains it, basically. So I have that little module there instead of the video card, which might be just some VRAM. So I think this is a VRAM module, so not memory at all. So the memory modules are those 2 here. So I have 32 megabytes here, which tells me that if I could actually put the 3 stacked up like this, that would give me like more memory. I don't think I'd have enough height to do it. So let's try with only 1. So let me actually open this up. Almost there, almost there. Okay, so yeah, this is the right side. So I have to line them up and press it. Not easy, as I don't have a lot of room to work here. It's weird that they don't seem compatible at all. They are, right? So why are they not? Come on. Man, this is a nightmare. Okay, one side is in. Okay, finally. So yeah, there is no way I'll be able to stack another one on top of it, which is a shame, because if I could have an additional memory here. So okay, the memory thing it's done. So let's remove the keyboard now. so I can close this guy up and call this done. So keyboard out. Let's get the British one. It looks clean enough. So I'm just going to get my brush just to make sure like there is nothing here. Just get rid of these speckles and such. Okay, so it's very clean already. So I'll take the opportunity to actually clean this from the inside as well. I'm trying to remember if I ever actually opened this up, but I did, because I remember actually opened this one up to try to get the button here to work. So yeah, it has been opened before. Okay, so now it's reattaching the keyboard here. Should be fairly straightforward. Beautiful, it's in. Just have to press the tab now to lock it in place. Should be okay. So memory is in, keyboard in. So make sure to, oops, I forgot the heatsink. So let's put the heatsink back. Be careful, you know, not to force anything so that you don't break anything. It should get in relatively easy. Okay, so now let's put the screws back. One, second one, and the third one. The other small one. And then the two larger ones are on top. Again, remember not to force. When you find that there is enough torque, just let it go. Don't over screw it, risking like you know, damaging the plastics or such. Okay, so it's in. Now keyboard in place. Before putting that back, I will actually test it to make sure it powers up and that the memory is being recognized and such. So healthy chime. So let's see how it goes. And in the future, like I might, you know, like when I do have more inclination to do so, I can just disassemble the whole thing and replace the button here as well with the other one. So again, I'm going to keep the other one for spares. And yeah, it's always good to have spares on those old machines, you know. You never know when you might need some parts. So let's wait for the boot up to complete. And then I get to see whether or not everything is working as it should. So it's booting up, which is already a good sign. So the screen on this one is actually in very good shape, and the other one as well, to be honest. Like screens both are really good. This is active matrix, so it's much better than the CS version of it, which is passive matrix. Okay, so let's see memory. Yeah, oh, it's funny, that says 57. Okay, well, you know what, like, I'm happy. Don't care, like, it doesn't show like 63 meg. It should show 63 something, or 65 something, sorry. So yeah, it's so 8 megs is actually, so maybe I should just I should have replaced with this one here. Yeah, maybe. Why not just go for it? It's not that hard anyways. I don't have to remove the keyboard or anything. So let me test the keyboard now. So keyboard seems to be working, which is great. So let's shut it down and let's replace again the memory. So keyboard out. Again, it's easy when you know now where everything goes. So why am I going to do that? It's just because, you know, I have the memory module just here. I have this already, you know, like ready to go in terms of you know, the keyboard and everything else. Like, it's easy to disassemble without the risk of breaking anything. So why not do it? Okay. And come on. Okay, so remove the heatsink. And yeah, I just have to basically replace exactly that. So yeah, so I think this down here, the original one from the other, is not full 32 megabytes. So let's try to do it like that. Come on. It's really annoying, you know, those memory slots, because they have to be perfectly aligned. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to do that in parts. So let's put this one here first. Okay, this one is in, and the other one on top of it. Beautiful. So heatsink back in place. And let's reassemble this. Okay. Again, remember not to over tight those screws. Keyboard back in place. Press it to make sure it's in the right locked position. And let's test this again. Okay, healthy chime. Always good to listen to. So after this, if all goes well, basically the last thing that is left for me to do is reassemble the other one, put that aside, and I will consider this a successful job. I'm actually going to use the battery on the other one here as well. It's good, you know, to keep the actual notebook battery can also be used as a CMOS battery if the internal one is already depleted, so it might be good. It's just that if I'm going to store this for a longer period of time, I will not store it with the battery. So remove the battery whenever you're going to store that for a longer period of times to avoid leakage and, you know, damage to your computer. Okay, it's finishing booting up. So let's see if we have a full 64 megabytes of memory now. Yep, 65,536. So that's a full 64 megabytes of memory. Yeah, this button here is very annoying because it's a shame. It's working though, and I can also change the trackpad to actually work on clicks here, so I can do that just now. So if I go here to trackpad, and if I change, so use trackpad for clicking, so now I can just click using the trackpad, you see. It doesn't really work well with, because I can't hold it, but it's an alternative, you know. Whenever I need to do a double click, like here for example, I can use the trackpad instead of the button, and that will be helpful. Okay, so I'm pretty much done here. One thing that I wanted to show you is this before we finish this. So this here, so this is PCMCIA ATA adapter, and I have here like a compact flash of 1 gigabyte. And in computers with PCMCIA slots like this one that has 2, you can actually use that as an external hard drive. So let me show you. Once you insert this, it should be immediately recognized as another disk. Well, it should. Yeah, you see, it's actually like being recognized as a disk. I don't know why it's complaining about the format, because this one was actually formatted on the other Mac. So yeah, it's not recognizing the format for some reason. So I'm going to test this in the other one anyways. Okay, so for now this is okay, so I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to put back the speaker bezel here. don't remember exactly how this goes, but it has to be like it can't be like this, I think. So it has to be like this, yes. Remember not to force anything. If it's not going in, don't force it, you know, like there is always a way, the right way to make things go. So if it's not going through, don't force it. As you can see, like I was in the wrong side, so just slide it in and click, it's in place. So beautiful. Let me close this up. And now let's add okay, let's reassemble this guy here. So we start with actually I didn't remove the back ones. Again, it's a shame that this guy has this nasty crack here, like well, it's not that nasty actually, you can hardly see it, but it will crack for sure, like, you know, with time it will crack. So let me again like take the opportunity to clean the insides here. Yeah, this is not anti-static, so maybe not the best way of doing this, but I always done like this and never had issues. I'm not saying that this is again like the right way of doing it, but yeah, if you have like an anti-static brush, prefer using that, of course. So let's add memory. Come on. Okay, memory in. Now the VRAM module. Again, this guy doesn't have a video card, so it only has the VRAM module here. And the keyboard, of course. Well, not sure if this module actually goes up here. So, no, probably not. Not sure. No, it doesn't, because it doesn't fit. So it has to be here. That's the only place this one can go. Okay, good. And keyboard in place. So this is again the French keyboard. Okay, it's in. Let's press the tab. Hold this in place. Now, keyboard in place. I forgot again this heatsink. So heatsink first. So we'll try again the PCMCIA adapter on this one, because it worked before. I basically copied the whole hard drive to this card that is in there, so it should be recognized by the other 1400. Not sure why I haven't. The only thing that is different is the operating system, that is 8.6 in this one and 7.6 in the other, but as far as I know, the file types, the file systems are compatible, so it should not be an issue. And the last one here. Okay, now I can put the keyboard in place, and I can put this back in as well. Okay, clicked and all in place. Now let's test this. Again with a healthy chime. So let's wait for it to boot up. So far so good. So this guy now should have 32 megabytes of memory. So you see that this is 8.6 and the other is 7.5. No, 7.6.1, the other one. So other than that, like I don't see any other explanation for this not to work. No idea. So it worked before. So maybe I need to reformat this, I don't know. Let's see. Let's wait for this to finish booting up. I could re-add the battery now, maybe before I should clean this up. Let's remove this oxidation point here. Okay, so let's put the battery back. And the CD-ROM as well. So as you can see, it is like the glue job was actually very well done, like it looks very resilient. Okay. So yeah, this guy now has 32 megabytes of memory, which looks okay. So let's test the PCMCIA card. Yeah, you see it mounts. So that's kind of weird. So this is the compact flash with the Macintosh disk copied onto it. So let me see, I think I have some tools. So let's see what we have in utilities here. So maybe drive setup. Let's see if normally this only works with Apple drives, so it might not work with this flash, compact flash. Well, it actually did. It's seen that, so I can initialize it. Yeah, just go for it. Okay, so it did it. So at least now it's initialized. So I think that was the problem before. So I'm going to copy everything that I have here into there, and that pretty much concludes the video. So I'm not going to wait for this to finish because it is going to take a long time. It's a lot of data to be copied and the speed is not amazing, but that's pretty much it. Like I'm going to basically conclude this this job, this project. There is not really much to refurbish here. As you could see, like everything is in very good shape, very good state, so I don't really need to do anything here. Unfortunately, I cannot fix the crack the crack that is in the lid, it is going to actually break at some point. By opening and closing the lid, it will eventually break, and there is nothing I can do about it. There is nothing I can do to reinforce it or anything like it. It is just going to break, and I just have to basically know that. And yeah, unfortunately that's what happens when you have very old plastic. It becomes very brittle and eventually it breaks up. That's why retrobrighting is kind of like a dangerous thing. Of course, you're not going to retrobrite a notebook because it's black, right? But for desktop computers and some other computers or other parts like keyboards and mouse and even like video game consoles, just know that retrobrighting it will cause the plastic to become more fragile. And if you keep doing that, so let's say every 2 years, you know, like the plastic will start becoming yellow again, and then you have to redo the retrobrighting process. So if you keep doing that, eventually the plastic is just going to give up. So retrobrighting is something for you to do like only when there is no other viable option. I normally don't do it, I don't like it, and it really contributes for the degradation of the plastic. Well, as you can see, like it's 30 minutes to go for the files to finish copying. I'm not going to wait, of course. I'm going to keep this one here for spares. It has a very good screen, it has a very good hard drive, and some other elements here. For example, the button case here is in very good shape, so if that one cracks or something bad happens, I can basically replace the parts between them, and I still have a very good working notebook. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully the quality of the recording was good enough and the audio was good enough as well, and hopefully I will be able to post more videos when I have free time. So thank you, and if you like it, subscribe it.